This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. It is June 6th, and we all remember that, and it is the 80th anniversary today of D-Day. U.S., British, and Canadian forces came together as they stormed the beaches of Normandy in the largest amphibious assault in history. They attacked German forces and turned the tide of World War II and laid the foundation for defeating Hitler and the Nazis. President Biden today is in Normandy today with the First Lady, Dr. Biden. Earlier, he met with some of the veterans, including 100-year-old Robert Gibson, who told the president, I get chills right now, quote, "Don't get old."
That's an order.
It is. Yes, sir. That's right. The president also spoke at the ceremony. Let's take a look.
In the silence of the years to come, the fact that they were heroes here that day does not absolve us from what we have to do today. Democracy is never guaranteed. Every generation must preserve it, defend it, and fight for it. In memory of those who fought here, died here, literally saved the world here, let us be worthy of their sacrifice.
Saved the world here. Other dignitaries are also there, including King Charles and Queen Camilla. This is the King's first trip outside of England since he was diagnosed with cancer. Now, Prince William is also there, along with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. There are some celebrities there, including Tom Hanks, who has taken a deep interest in World War II, as well as Steven Spielberg, whose own father fought in World War II. I have chills all over today. It's also my parents' anniversary, and I just think today is sort of a magical day, a lot of emotional day here. Do you think people understand what happened today and how big it was, Al? How important this was for the history of our world?
I think they think that Saving Private Ryan is exactly what happened, and to an extent it is. It's a famous movie and is as accurate as you could probably ask to portray, obviously, from one angle. But I feel like we look at these wars, but we never understand why they happened. I was doing a show with a comic, and she's a teacher, and she's a history teacher, and I was asking her, this is a week ago, I was like, why is, if you think about after we leave school, every guy that you know that's older than 31 years old is listening to a war podcast or a history podcast, and it's fascinating. But in high school, it's really used as an example of our most boring class. And I think if we showed people, these are the steps that lead up to half a million young people dying on a beach in the span of a few days. Maybe we should be able to recognize those steps so we don't do that again. And instead, for as much as the movie is important and to recognize what they did is important, I would like for us to figure out the reasons why so we don't have another Saving Private Ryan for our kids to watch.
Well, I mean, that just goes back to the idea that if history isn't told, it's destined to be repeated. I remember being in junior high, and we had a veteran who served and was a part of D-Day. And I remember so clearly him saying, "I was only 5 years older than some of you."
Wow.
And that put it into context of the idea that these were children
18 years old,
who were putting their lives on the front lines in order to save democracy, to save the country, to save for the history of the world. And when we're having these conversations, it really goes back to the context of what Al is saying about the importance of history. The importance of history, the reason why it's important that it's told not only by the victor, is so that it isn't repeated.
Exactly.
And so when we're talking about anything in the context of the history of this world, it is very important that it's told from both sides.
I completely agree with you. I also want to just say, Steph, that this meant a lot of hope to people this day, and this is what Anne Frank wrote in her diary on June 6th. "The best part about the invasion is that I have the feeling that friends are on the way. The thought of friends and salvation mean everything to us." It gave hope to a lot of people in Europe. I do want to say there's also an American cemetery in Normandy. I don't know if you guys know this. There's some footage we have of it, and I want to show you. Get this. They are 9,400 Americans who died during the liberation of France, but 45 sets of brothers lie side by side in that cemetery. 3 Medal of Honor recipients are buried there. Steph, how do you feel about this day and that William and Charles were there, and also that, you know, Kate is not there? How does that make you feel?
Oh gosh. Well, first of all, about D-Day itself,
Yeah.
if America hadn't have stepped in, literally the course of history would have been so different.
Absolutely.
I've got to say, like, Europe as a whole owe so much to America for that day and what they did, and the lives of the Americans that were sacrificed, not just the Canadians, not just the British. It was awful, horrific, and the course of history will never be the same because of it. So thank you, seriously.
Yes.
And then talking about Charles, obviously it's wonderful to see Charles up and about and going and doing something that's so important and means so much to the people in Europe. It's incredible. I'm so glad he's doing well, and it's beautiful as well that William's there. But obviously, like you said, we are missing Kate, and William did give notice and he gave a bit of a talk about Kate, saying she's doing much better, but there are rumours that we will possibly not see her in public duties possibly again.
Ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I was reading that as well, which is, you know, we give our hopes and prayers, but if that's what it takes for her to be well, do it. Please do it. And we want that to be well. I do want to make sure people know this, that on that day, as they were walking in, Robert Capa has famous photographs of this. 4,414 Allied troops died, including 2,501 Americans, 5,000 wounded. And then in the Battle of Normandy, following up on that, 73,000 Allied forces were killed. 20,000 French civilians were killed. So this was a
And don't
sacrifice.
forget, this is
the whole
coming
world.
off the heels of World War I.
Absolutely.
Which was, people were slaughtered, and that was roughly 25 years before. So just
right.
imagine, this is 2 generations of young men and women, the ones that died, what happened to those families, and the ones that came home and were forever damaged because PTSD was not a thing yet.
Absolutely right. For those that are in the service, who have been in the service, who have sacrificed for the service, we want to give our thanks today. Coming up on DBL, who will former President Trump pick to be his running mate?
Me?
Is it Al? I
Yay.
knew it.
I beat ya.
We're breaking down who's in the running, you're not, and we're talking with media powerhouse Bonnie Hammer about her book, 15 Lies Women Are Told at Work. right, welcome back to DBL. There's been a ton of speculation about who former President Trump will pick to be his running mate. Well, sources now have a short list of who is in the running. 3 names top the list. They are North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Florida's Marco Rubio, and Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Put on a tie, J.D. How about? Other names on the list include South Carolina's Tim Scott, Florida Representative Byron Donalds, New York Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, and finally we have Ben Carson. Fox News reports that these 7 people are all being vetted, but also noted that the list is constantly evolving and changing. Erica, who do you think is the best choice? Is the choice on there?
Really?
Should I not have gone to you? These aren't the best you
I
could
find
do?
the slides very interesting.
Tell me why.
It's like the first 3 were like, oh, okay. The last 4 were like, okay.
What was the similarity, Erica?
I don't know. I was like,
Which one of these is?
Yeah, there 4 of these things are doing its own thing. I don't know what's gonna. This is such a crapshoot. This is something like every political analyst and pundit has all of these things they're weighing in on what's going to happen this election.
Sure.
I think this is going to be the biggest political surprise of our. Like we thought that when Trump was elected, that was the surprise.
You think it's going to be? Do you think it'd be a non-politician, Al? Do you think it could be someone not even that we're thinking of?
But I think it's going to be J.D. Vance. I think he has the most credibility within that group of people. If you look at the slides that we showed, I think they're doing what Erica picked up on, and maybe you didn't even realize what you're looking at. It's a very diverse group of people, all right? It looked like an online college brochure. That's not what his cabinet looked like for the most part. But he's trying to signal to people on the fence,
correct,
hey, I might like your guy. I'm down with black guys. I might choose him. I could choose a woman.
The sneaker collection told it all.
Look, Trump's name. He went to SneakerCon.
Yeah, he said blacks love sneakers.
He did say that.
Yeah, it was
his fingers on the
amazing.
pulse. Yeah.
But yeah,
he really knows what's going on.
These candidates, these people know that they're not going to be selected. These are people are in this world, so they understand who's close. But they also understand that just having their name mentioned helps them as well, because now they can fundraise off of that and get whatever clout you get in that world from being suggested.
I want to give my point of view. I don't think it's going to be any of
That's why
this.
you're on the show.
That's
you're
true.
in the right place.
I've done it. I've
Yes,
arrived.
no more yelling at the gas station.
Excuse me, sir. Yeah. This is what I think. I think it's going to be. Do we have her picture? Nancy Mace. Yes. Nancy Mace is who I believe.
I've been saying this.
And I've been saying this for a while now. She went to the Citadel, and she also has been a sexual assault survivor. And when they deal with abortion, she is quite flexible in terms of an exception for rape and incest. And I think Trump needs women. And I think he needs someone who understands that, because every time abortion's on the ballot, Democrats have won all 7 times, every single time.
But do you want a candidate there that is going to, every time they appear in public on your behalf, they're going to be asked about the sexual assault and then the sexual assault that you were found liable of? Is that what you want?
But let me finish. Let me ask this. She was asked that, and the fact that she would say, yes, I trust this man, even though I've been through one, says that she's co-signing his behavior and comportment. That gives him credibility if he picks her.
With who? I don't think a lot of people would want that brought up all the time.
Right.
Because you're going to hear sexual assault in your candidate's name 30 times a day up until the election.
But you're also going to see someone who's been through it co-signing that, saying this man isn't that person.
But remember, the last time we had this conversation, that was very polarizing amongst the survivor and survivor ally community.
True, which is a big block of people.
And that has nothing to do with party lines.
I was going to say that goes right in between.
I see your point, but it's a big risk.
Yeah, it is. And I also think he likes the words Trump and Mace together. Coming up on DBL, what lies are women told at work? I really do. Entertainment industry trailblazer Bonnie Hammer is sharing the must-know career advice for females. And I want you to stick around today for Deal Blast. We got amazing bargains on everything from an air fryer to a top-of-the-line sound machine. Al, this one's for you.
That's me.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Welcome back. As one of the most powerful women in corporate America, NBC Universal Vice Chairman Bonnie Hammer knows how to navigate a male-driven industry. And earlier, she shared her wisdom about lies that women are told at work. Check it out.
Here to share her wisdom, Bonnie Hammer.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Bonnie, thanks for being here. Our EP, Bert, was singing your praises in the meeting, so glad to have you here. Let's get to it. Bonnie, why did you write this book in the first place? Obvious question.
Well, you know, at this point in my career, I am agenda-free, so I can actually look back at my career and see what made sense in life and what didn't. And what I've realized that so much of what we've grown up with and so much of what women are told, the cliches, the mantras, the dictums, in fact, are lies, and that if we follow, really lead to self-sabotage. So my goal was, instead of just writing a book about advice, in some ways wanted to write to talk about the bad advice that women are given in order to navigate the world and succeed.
I love this so much. I consider you a testimony teacher, and I think it's so generous when people, as you said, you have no agenda. You're just saying it like it is. So in this book, you debunk bad advice women can receive. Let's talk about a couple of them, because this one I love so much, starting with fake it till you make it. How is this phrase hurting us?
It is so dangerous because everybody at some point in life, male, female, have a bit of imposter syndrome in them. So women in particular have been told that the only way to get ahead, if you don't know something, is just fake it and you're going to make it. The truth is you have to face it.
Yes.
The minute you are caught in a lie, the minute somebody loses trust in you, that's it.
That's so real.
Yep. So my advice is ask questions. No, people really love helping other people. The minute somebody else is able to kind of take you under their arm because you're honest, you're vulnerable, that you want to learn, you then have a friend for life, someone who really wants to help you grow and help you navigate your career.
That's so smart. All right, what about this? Don't sweat the small stuff. Miss Hammer, should we be sweating?
You know, that's another thing that we've always been told. But what it's really talking about when that cliche came about was basically stop stressing. But it had nothing to do with really attention to details. And in my life and in my world, if you don't sweat the small stuff, you're never going to be doing the big stuff later on. If you think about funny things like a surgeon, do you think a surgeon has to sweat the small stuff?
I hope so.
A chef. A teaspoon versus a tablespoon of salt or pepper in a recipe, that's small stuff. So the small stuff in life is really the big stuff in life. And as they say, God and the devil are in the details.
Ooh, such great advice. In fact, you have another piece in here, an anecdote, if you will. In your book, you say, the key to succeed in a man's world is to stand out as a woman. Yes, please tell me what you mean by this.
A funny little story, actually, about your boss, Sir Bertie Brow. We worked together we worked together many moons ago, and in Boston, he was executive producer of the #1 talk show at the time, and he hired me as a supervising producer. And we've kept in touch over the years, and then just recently had a phone call within the last year. And he said to me something that I found fascinating. He said, you know, I always knew you would succeed because you were very ladylike. Now, in this day and age, most people would take that comment and say, oh my goodness, that's an insult, ladylike. But the truth is, it was talking about all of the stuff that we possess, that I navigated the world through collaboration, compassion, empathy, rather than try to echo man's behavior. So it was actually a true compliment that I loved.
Beautifully stated. I love it. Bonnie, thank you for joining us on DBL. To our viewers, to learn more from Bonnie, make sure to grab a copy of 15 Lies Women Are Told at Work, available now. Thank you again, Bonnie. Appreciate you.
We'll be reading.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The Caribbean is calling you. This June, we're celebrating Caribbean Heritage Month with Sandals by giving away 2 all-inclusive vacations to any Sandals resort of your choice. Watch DBL every day for a word of the day. Then enter at dailyblasslab.com/sandals for your chance to win a 4-day, 3-night escape for 2. The winner will be announced on DBL June 26. Make memories for a lifetime and start entering for your chance to win a trip to any Sandals resort. Today's word of the day is ocean.
Karen got it. All right, we got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today? I can't wait to shop.
First up today, we've got the Chefman 5-quart Easy View air fryer with a temperature probe.
Ooh.
So this will get dinner on the table really quick without sacrificing great taste, and it is healthier cooking. So you can serve all the delicious foods your family loves using 98% less oil.
Yes.
Normally this is $100.
Oh, that's good for that.
We've got it for $55. That's saving 45%.
That's a great deal on a great product.
Next up, we've got the Make Lemonade analog sound machine.
Ooh.
There are 8 mixable sounds to choose from, and you can mix and match, so you can have crickets on the beach.
Oh my word.
Isn't that insane?
Oh my God.
I love it. So not only does it provide noise, but it's also got a little gentle night light, and it's got 3 different light levels.
I'm really into this.
I think it's so cute. Normally it's $40.
Okay.
We've got it for $19.99.
Much better, half
You're
off.
saving 50%. Next up today, we've got the 2-pack static Go Hub power banks. They are slim, and I've got multiple USB ports, which means you can charge up to 3 devices at the same time.
Oh, wow.
There's an easy-to-read LCD screen, so you always know how much battery is available.
Oh, wow.
So normally these are $50 each.
Okay.
We've got a 2-pack for $39.99.
Whoa.
Saving 60%. Last but not least, we've got the Bissell Turbo Clean Power Brush Pet Carpet Cleaner.
Oh, I need this.
You can tackle pet messes that happen on carpets and area rugs. It's got a 2-tank system, which means the clean water and formula is in one, and then the dirty water gets pulled into its own tank.
Whoa.
So you're not reusing and putting dirty water back onto your clean carpet.
Bissell.
Normally it's $179.
Okay.
We've got it for $99.99. That's saving 44%.
Love it. All right. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. Or you can scan the QR code right on screen. It'll take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so, so much, Steph.
I need that carpet cleaner.
Yeah.
I will own that.
The carpet cleaner.
I will own that.
Manifest.
Manifest, yes.
That's right. Or go to Morning Save. All right. We will see you same time, same place tomorrow. I want you to be good to yourself today, all right? Take care.